The flower that blooms in adversity is the most rare and beautiful of all. This powerful line from Disney's Mulan isn't just a memorable quote from a beloved film. It's a profound truth about the human spirit. It speaks to a resilience that we all possess but often forget we have. It tells us that our most stunning growth doesn't happen when the sun is always shining and the path is clear. It happens when the winds howl, when the ground is rocky, and when we are forced to push through the most challenging soil to find the light. I want to tell you a story about such a flower. I'm talking about Oprah Winfrey. Today, we see Oprah as a global media leader, a billionaire philanthropist, a cultural icon. But to truly understand the rarity and beauty of her bloom, we must look at the ground from which she grew. Imagine a little girl born into deep poverty in rural Mississippi, a child who, for the first few years of her life, was so poor that she wore dresses made from potato sacks. This was Oprah's world, a world not of opportunity, but of profound neglect and abuse. A world where the odds were not just stacked against her, they were a mountain. She was moved from home to home, facing loneliness and trauma that would have crushed most spirits. By her teenage years, she had endured hardships that no child ever should. This was not fertile ground. This was a landscape of adversity, a place where, by all accounts, a flower should not be able to grow. But within this little girl, a seed of potential was waiting. It was nurtured by small, almost imperceptible moments of light. A grandmother who taught her to read before the age of 3. A teacher who saw a spark in her eyes and encouraged her to speak. A love for books that became her escape and her education. These were the tiny roots she began to put down, anchoring herself even as the storms raged around her. As she stepped into the world, the adversity didn't stop. Her first major television job as a news anchor in Baltimore was a disaster. The producer told her she was unfit for television. She was fired. Think about that for a moment. The woman who would become the undisputed queen of television was told she didn't even belong there. She was too emotional, they said. She got too invested in the story she was reporting. Here is where the story could have ended. Here is where the flower could have withered. But it didn't, because what the producers saw as a weakness, Oprah recognized as her strength. Her emotion, her empathy, her ability to connect with people on a genuine level. These were the very things born from her own pain and struggle. She hadn't just survived her past, she had learned from it. It had given her a perspective, a depth of understanding that a more privileged life could never provide. So she didn't just find a new job, she created a new path. She took that weakness and turned it into the foundation of her empire. When she was given a morning talk show, she reinvented the entire genre. Instead of just reporting stories, she shared them. She listened. She cried with her guests and her audience. She used her platform to talk about the very things she had been told to hide: pain, struggle, and the search for meaning. Her adversity became her authenticity. The girl who grew up feeling unseen gave a voice to millions who felt the same. The child who endured trauma created a space for healing and understanding. She didn't just bloom in spite of her past. She bloomed because of it. The harsh soil of her youth gave her a strength, a resilience, and a profound empathy that became the source of her incredible power. Oprah Winfrey is the rare and beautiful flower that bloomed in adversity. Her story is a living, breathing testament to the idea that our challenges do not have to define us in the way we think. They do not have to be the end of our story. Instead, they can be the very soil that gives us the strength to grow into something more rare, more beautiful, and more impactful than we ever imagined. So, look at the challenges in your own life. The rocky ground, the harsh winds. Don't just see them as obstacles. See them as the environment that is forging your strength, your resilience, your unique and beautiful bloom. For it is in that struggle that you will find the most powerful version of yourself.